This is the podcast overview for Module 10. We will be covering Chapter 11, The Nature and Symptoms of Pain. So this is one of two modules that we're covering in Week 5. So we'll be covering Module 10 and Module 11. So for this module and this chapter, here is the to-do list, including everything you need to know that goes along with the module. You'll be reading Chapter 11 in Serafino and Smith, along with Chapter 11 in the Longevity Project, which is Long Life Meets the Afterlife, all about the relationship and association between religion and health. I also included a pain survey for you, since we're going to be talking about pain. I'd like you to try this out and rate your most recent pain experience, just so you can get a sense of how this pain scale works. It is one of the most popular pain scales used in the clinical world today when trying to assess and measure one's pain. And then you'll have discussion boards. So here are the objectives for Chapter 11, and you can click here for a podcast overview of each of these, the lecture slides that go along with the chapter, and the pain scale that you'll be filling out. Now, you don't have to turn this in, but I would like you to look it over and try to fill it out. It's really quick. It'll take you all of like 3 minutes, but I would like you to see how this works so that you get a sense of how the scale is used. I also put a short video clip about phantom limb pain here for you, and then Module 10 discussion post. So you'll be reading Chapter 11 in the Longevity Project, completing the chapter assessment. How does your level of religiosity, or lack thereof, impact your health? So there's an assessment / questionnaire that you'll fill out, and then, of course, just as usual, score it and interpret what your score means. And then you'll be answering these questions about the termites. How was religious involvement defined and assessed in the term and study? Anything missing in assessing one's religious involvement? What did you think about the scale? Do you think that it is a good assessment of one's religious participation and activity and involvement today? And then B, how did religion factor into the health and longevity of the term and participants? So again, use some examples from the termites. How might the habits and practices associated with being religious positively affect one's health? And then lastly, look at the questions you answered in the assessment about your religious experience. Think not about your overall score, but how you got that score, depending upon how you answered certain items. And according to the research, how might this affect your overall health or positive outcomes in life? According to the research again. So you want to kind of go back in and tie it into what the long-term research shows. So the one thing I love about this book that we've been reading through, the Longevity Project, is that it's a longitudinal study. This is over the life course of many individuals, so the data is very valuable and rich. It is so hard to study the same people for that long and then be able to draw those connections. It's like connecting the dots and seeing it all come together. Things people did or didn't do and how it affects them later in life. So that's what you'll be doing here for this chapter. And that will wrap up Module 10.